anyone to berate you or talk down to you. All right. Look, I don't like this kind of talk. I don't like people being berated to or yelled at. I understand there's no such thing as perfect. All right. Never is, never will be. But Democrat California gubernatorial candidate Katie Porter seemed to have a profanity-laced meltdown on one of her staffers in footage obtained by Politico. Get out of my effing shot. The meeting was sometime in July 2021 between Porter and then Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm, according to Politico. This is going to be difficult to sit through. But damn, Katie Porter mad. Big mad. Everyone, duck.
And I never have to go to the gas station.
That's awesome. And $632 is real money. And I know here at UCI, we have a National Fuel Center Research Center, and they're also doing work on how to make electric vehicles affordable, including for low and moderate income people, working moms, single moms like me, people who really could benefit from an extra $632 in their pocket. And it's also not just the individual savings, but it's also the total savings for our economy. So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems. And the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
Whoa, lady, language.
Pollution and other problems. And the state could lose.
Whoa.
Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again with.
Whoa, lady, geez, calm down.
To air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that.
You know what I got to say about that? Jeez Louise, Katie. You know what? I think you deserve an...
Oof. 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 Oof.
And here's what I think about it.
You know what? That's what the other person should have said. Like, hey, stop yelling at me. Here's what I think about you yelling at me.
And here's what I think about it.
One more time, just for humor.
And here's what I think about it.
All right, look, I get it. Look, I've worked in media, you know, I've done my fair share of interviews, commentary. I've done it all. You know, and yes, sometimes people walk into a shot. I remember doing an interview a long time ago where somebody crossed into my shot here too. You know, there's no such thing as perfect, you know, never has been, never will be. Sometimes in the studio or live streaming from home or live streaming on the streets, you know, you got to be calm, cool, collective. Instead of saying, get out of my effing shot. Boy, you could just say, hey, look, I'm going to have to reshoot that thing again. What's going on here? Because if they have to correct you, that's their job. You know, that's a good staff person. Like, hey, okay, cool. Like, you know, maybe next time have the notes. Like there's, you know, you don't have to snap because there's another person on the line watching that video, hearing that video. You know, you got to be careful. You have to be careful when somebody yells at you, you know, or when you're yelling at somebody. Because Katie, perception drives reality. That is definitely no bueno. And you know that this video is going to be going viral on social media. You know that people are going to be talking about us. You know that people are going to be speaking about it. And by the way, everyone who's watching this, you know, come on. if you're not a fan of the Democrat Party, you're gonna be sharing this and be like, whoa, what's she like with the rest of her staffers? I remember an incident not too long ago where there was one Democrat candidate who was running, Klobuchar, the Klob, where supposedly she would throw things at her staffer, and actually one point was eating a salad with her comb, which is not really a safe thing to do because you need a fork to eat a salad, not a comb. But then again, folks, let's have democracy in the chat. How would you respond to this? How would you respond if you were trying to help out Katie Porter?
Prematurely to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles, it's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. All right. Obviously, there's always an incident takes place. Look, hey, I have the neighbor's dog next door that sometimes barks. What do you want me to do? Say to the dog, hey, dog, stop barking? No, the dog is a good dog. And not to mention, it's a great guard dog, too, because it loves its home. And you know what? It acts completely different when it's not behind a gate. It's like, oh, hey, how you doing? You pet it. In fact, that dog will get scared. All right. But hey, we all love good dogs when they bark, 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 bark. Okay. When they do their little barking. But as a leader, you got to keep cool. You got to keep calm. You're going to be berating people like that. One has to wonder what happens when the cameras are not on and there's nobody listening. So how would you handle that? Would you type 1 for, you duck down and get back to your work, or type 2, screw this place, I'm up out of here, F you and your effing shot? I wonder how many 2s will show up in the chat. I wonder, do you ever wonder